So hello everyone, it's me, Jamie, back here. Well, yeah, back here today for PSGL Formula 2 action here on the Monday night. I am replacing Lordy this week, considering, well, Lordy is away for I don't know what reason, but he should be back next week for Japan. And we have people in the chat already. Roscoe Dodger from F5, one of my counterparts in that division. And we also got Mr. Big C in here as well. This one is going to be the longest race of the F2 season, and it's not official timing. Would that mean we'll have to restart? Because I know in the past where it hasn't been official timing here at Singapore, it does usually do a restart. But I don't know. If someone could let me know if we're doing a restart. Yeah, we're doing a restart. Okay. So the host has not left the timing unofficial, except on midday. It's an Ollie Flavel disaster class. I'm guessing Ollie is the host then. Got some cars on the track already. It's Alfie actually, oblivious to the restart. So in fact, I'm going to actually back out and yeah, sit around till the lobby's up. Hopefully get an invite before 5 minutes before we go. Bearing in mind I only remember myself 5 minutes before 7 o'clock that I was doing this. By the way, if someone in the chat does want to join me, feel free to if you have a mic. Of course, I'm alone. I'm usually more enthusiastic when I'm with co-commentators, so do feel free to join, or ask to join if you want to join me up here. Ollie ruins everything he touches, pass it on. Yeah, you know what you gotta do then. I don't know where he is. I think he could be working, but I'm not sure. But like I said, if you want to commentate alongside me, do feel free to ask me for an invite to the party and hopefully to the session. Of course, this is going to be a long race, so I'm guessing we'll probably run into F1, which means that viewership will probably be down about the end of this race, so yeah. Click on an invite. I think that is an invite to the new lobby. It is. Ready set up, alright then. We're back in the session. Hopefully they put it on official this time. So here we are. Should be unofficial now. Of course, Singapore, we got 17 drivers, which should mean some utter chaos. As for the drivers, I will have a look at them in the qualifying session, but I should be able to recognise most of them. Other than one I have noticed which I don't recognise, and I think his name is Queel. I don't know if this is his first time. Yeah, other than that, it looks like everyone else I know. A lot of them have actually commentated in F3 last season, like Black Phoenix, Forbes, Toxic Tomato, I believe, was in there as well. course, Black Phoenix is doing quite well for himself right now in this division. Currently leading it, I believe. And there we go. Now it's night time. Who is going to be the first one out? Last time I believe it was Alfie. Just waiting. Action. Are your engines? Are your revs? Who is it from? Sounds like a Ferrari engine. It's down at the Alfa Romeo garage. That would be Skeven. He's the first one out, closely followed by the Haas of Paco. I don't think it ever really had a charm, to be honest, JP. It was just a downgrade on F1 2018 compared to, well, if you look at the league racing side of things. There's a lot of cars out on the track right now. A lot of places where you can bottle it. We are going to see a few pit stops tonight. I'm probably expecting a 2-stop considering how long the races are and tyre temps. Of course, we are just a couple of kilometres or miles away from the equator, I believe, in this part of the world. It's pretty close to Malaysia as well. So, yeah, I'm going to be back in a second to use the toilet. I'm back. Got yellows ready. People crashing into the wall. Maybe. Of course, this track, I don't know if you believe this, but as highest percentage, well, highest safety car rate, IRL. But considering this is the F1 game, we're probably not going to see a safety car for a bloody 7-car pilot with 2 of them upside down. That's how this game works. The same. I remember I drove into the wall when it was into conditions here a couple of seasons back in F5. And when I mean drove in the wall, I actually drove into the wall. I thought I had a heap of oversteer on the car, and I corrected that ghostly oversteer, and it put me in the wall, and yeah, so basically I straight lined it. Who is the first to complete the lap? Of course, it's a very long lap. I believe it will be Black Phoenix, actually. Yeah, Lordy is Welsh now, Ushin, and he's also got a similar voice to Jamie now, actually. Jamie 2905. So you're gonna have just to put up with me when in this voice and accent. But I'm pretty sure you're joking. I know you know it's me, and looks like there was a bit of front wing chipped off the Haas there as Black Phoenix comes around the last corner, and it's going to be a 36.8 on a set of hars to start off the qualifying. Thomas, ILRT Thomas has gone and quickened that up by a 10th, and now Skeven's come across the line with 37 flat. Who else has come around the last corner? Sam Silver looks like he's going to pit. Toxic Tomato come around the last corner in championship contention. He's on a set of softs, but he's invalidated this lap, so no lap time set there from my fellow Welshman. Oh my goodness, what's that thing on the Force India at the racing point? I just had a crofty moment. What on earth was that thing on the rear wing of that racing point? Greeny has lost his wing. I don't know where that's at, and someone else has just crossed the line. It would be Green. The DRS wire. It looks ugly. I've never seen that before on any car. Silas Agard is now on pole. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong. If have I done an F2 race this season? Because I think I have done one, but I think I haven't at the same time. Is that Renault being held up? Forbes? No, he's already set a lap. Tico is on a lap. He's in the middle sector. I want to try and find someone else later on in the lap. CC Brain's in the first sector. Yellow flag, sector 2. We're in sector 2 right now, I believe. Raikkonen. Where's the sector 3 split line? I actually need to get this up, actually, to find that out before we get on with anything here. Silas Agard was on a set of softs, hence why he's gone so much quicker than the rest of the field. And Raikkonen, he backed off a long time ago, actually. Some sensor must have validated a lapse or something. Here's Tico with a very trigger-happy rev fee and engines. I just need to get my words out. He is going to back off his lap. I remember in 2008, the pit lane never used to be like that. You used to have you used to cut the corner, but then you used to swerve back into the racing line and then come back into the pits again. It used to be so dangerous. It's a 35-2. It's been set on a set of softs, so you can understand why everyone else set the times on hards. To be fair, not many drivers have set the times all getting validated. Also, if you're one of the F1 drivers currently in the chat, good luck for tonight. This is going to be a grueling one. I'm pretty sure most of the drivers in from last season have experienced this race before on this game. I haven't, because I was enjoying myself in Orlando, Florida the last time we went to Singapore as a PSGL community. So we were watching the gamer Paco on his lap in F1 last season. Couldn't really do much, unfortunately. Let's see what he has set in the first sector. It's a 27.2. The championship situation in F2, I know Black Phoenix is leading it. I checked it the other day. It might have been yesterday, actually. So we got Black Phoenix in first on 74 points. You got CC Brain in second, 10 points behind him. Basically, if Black Phoenix DNFs tonight and CC gets on the podium, or CC finishes second or better, then he overtakes him. Black Phoenix can't catch them. Well, he can catch CC Brain if something goes wrong for CC tonight, but he can't catch Black Phoenix. Same with Greeny, who's actually only 1 point behind Toxic Tomato. And it is that Wheel guy's second race. He DNF back in Austria. That's probably why I didn't recognise him. Of course, as well, that Austria race, one of the classics. Do recommend you go watch it. Remember, Alfie, he started P16. He's currently P15 right now, although he hasn't set a time. He finished P5 or P4, something like that in the race, but won it on penalties. He was that close. But of course, Singapore is a different story. Yeah, he is rapid. He won the F3 champion. Well, he didn't win the F3 championship. It was really close though. He came with 1 or 2 points of winning it. Sam Bam Kid won it. I don't know where he's ended up now. He's just completely disappeared. We also did have the runner-up last season in F3 in this division in Leon, but he left. Can't remember why. I remember that he had a reason. Alfie's lap is well off the pace, which means he must have made a mistake somewhere through that lap. Greeny has come back out after breaking his front wing. He's now coming through the, well, you call it a tunnel section, but it actually goes under a football stadium, actually, because there's a football pitch on the side of the thing, and there's a car on the wall That looked like a racing point, but for now we're going to keep on board with Greeny as he goes 8th quickest. Anyone else? And that force the. I keep on saying Force India. Where am I getting Force India from now? I've been calling it Racing Point up until this day. And I start calling it Force India again. The Racing Point of Ollie stopped on pit entry there. There's someone else in the wall now coming through Sector 3. It's been quickly cleared up. 10 people in the stream now. The comments have been quite active tonight, actually. So fair enough in that regard. Phoenix is on his second run on the hard tyres. Seems like hard tyres are the way to go. But I'm pretty sure... Yeah, you only get one... If you go for the harder tyre allocation, you only get one selection of the tyres, and you nearly binned it in the wall there. In the pit entry. And I cannot get past Silas to go around the back. Okay. Probably the reason why I should use this thing, but I can't get used to it. It's Rebel following behind Raikkonen. He went second. Who was that? That must have been Greeny, actually. Got some drivers starting to come out on mediums now. Forbes has put one on Easton in the pit stop. We got Wheel about to start a lap on them, and he's nearly been in the wall. So he's struggling for a mechanical grip there, it seems, but he's still got it. And it looks like he is going to improve, and his time goes second place. Maybe that slide was more dramatic for us than it was for him. Unless he didn't have it, he might have gone and beaten Silas's soft tyre time. And speaking of Silas, he's about to improve on it, is he? Oh yes, he's absolutely smashed that his first time. Actually, I just remembered that it was a 35.2 and not 35.7. My apologies. So Dutch Tricks has gone second on a set of mediums. Raced him once in a different league, but yeah, he was only put down in that one for a bit of fun because the championship leader ran away with it. They put him in there as a challenge. Toxic Tomato is on a lap. Yellows. There's a car round. Bending it in the wall, trying to rejoin the circuit, and that be ILRT Thomas in the Alfa Romeo. And taking the 2008 pit lane entry that I was mentioning earlier. As for Toxic Tomato, he is now coming round that corner. Well, that could be about there, actually. It was. He's pitted. So we've still got 5 minutes to go, and a whopping 5 drivers have not set laps yet. Mainly because they're invalidating them, although Tico is on one. And closely following Forbes. And there's yellow flags all over the place. Wouldn't be surprised if I saw yellow flags sector 1, 2 and 3, as it so often says in league racing. Who is it? I can't find whoever it was. But Tico, is he getting caught up behind Forbes here? He's passed him. More yellows now. I'm guessing that is for Forbes, because he pulled over there. Green flags showed down here. Yes, it must have been Forbes. Right. I can remember the yellow flags are not always for crashes. Actually, Tika as well at the pace. Will someone just complete a lap without me on board with them? Skeeven is 4 times up. Let's go on board with him. Although I say that now, he probably will bottle it while I'm on board with him because I cursed him or something like that. Coming through this corner, which I don't know the name of. I don't know the name of half of Singapore's corners, and that's quite embarrassing because there's a lot of them to know. Turns out the only one I know is the Anderson Bridge. You can even call that a corner because there's a bridge. The Anderson Bridge and Rattles Boulevard. And the Singapore Sling, which isn't really a sling anymore, it's more of a bend. Skeeven is 9 temps up this time. Where would that put him actually? That would put him on a 36-1. That put him 4th on the grid. Still a lot of time to find though. In Singapore. Unlike Austria, there's loads of time to find and loads of time to lose. Don't tell me Seaglass is going to stuck another set of soft on. Does he not know how quick they go off in the qualifying? Skeven around the last two corners, and Skeven is going to place it second on the grid. Fair enough. For a one-up driver, that's pretty good. Tico, he is back out again. Hopefully this time he hasn't bowled it. Actually, he set a lap last time. He's to 149.3, and I think he actually missed the pits, and that is why he set it, but he just wants to, looks like to me he wants to complete the lap and still want to finish outside the top 10. Someone else has just improved the time with Dutch. He only goes 1,000 quicker than Skeven. Okay, that's close. How about Tico? What's he going to set? It's 5th place. Quickly displaced by Forbes, who goes P2 and is Wheel out. And did he crash? Tico is out as well. I have a feeling Wheel might have crashed, but I'm not sure about Tico. Which one in Manu retired. Samster. Will he finally set a lap without getting invalidated? I'm pretty sure that might have been invalidated. Canadian driver. Yes. No, that was his last lap. For some reason I suppose not on there yet. We just said yellow flags in all 3 sectors. There are yellows flying everywhere at the end of the qualifying session, and ducks. Ducks? I just called him ducks. How do I manage to call him ducks? I don't even know. He's retired. Why did they get rid of the menu? Samster. He's put in low res. Might have backed off. Paco has just started that. CC and Toxic. Hold on that. Oh, not that driver, I should say. Why am I switching? Right. I believe Samster may have backed off on his lap because he's not using the ERS and he is running low revs. I'm pretty sure that would give me the signal that he has backed off, but not entirely because he hasn't pulled off. Yeah, he's back. ILRT Thomas with a 34.8 in the set medium. Silas getting absolutely mugged. His guys on mediums going quicker than him, and he's on a set of softs. That's something you don't really want to be happening, considering those softs do tend to go off right early. But we're watching for this last sector. Forbes is retired. Oh, that could have been in the wall. I don't think he's going to improve in that pole time. He's a step by 10th. They're all retiring now, but what's Sam say? He's gone up for another run of it. And Paco's closest to finishing a lap. We'll go on board with him. Or right with him. Paco goes. He's invalid. No lap time set. Who's next? It would be Toxic. There are some guys out there that are like Greeny who's about to finish times up. As long as this one's not invalid, that should get him into the top 10. And it does. Put him P6. And Black Phoenix, the championship leader, down in 12, but he's on a lap. The Toxic Tomato's about to finish one. Hope for the championship's sake, he is not invalid, but yeah, he has gone second place, which is good for him because both his championship rivals are outside the top 10, plus Greeny. CC's actually gone into the top 10 there. Greeny was the only one that was in the top 10 that was around him in the standings there for a moment. Black Phoenix, current championship leader, currently flying through that third sector. I would believe that Samster has actually got his lap invalid again, but we're riding forward. He's going to complete it this time. Go on, Samster. Yeah, he got invalid. Rubbish. Black Phoenix, 10th, only 10th. Josh backs off. So you got your championship leader in P10. Second place is 7th, and third place is 2nd. Fourth place is 4th, because I know Green's only 1 point behind Toxic. But Rafa and the chat saying fraudsters back at it. I should know who the fraudster is, but my mind's gone blank. Toxic Tomato misses out on pole by 0.003 of a second. some dirty tactics going on in terms of the championship between these two Red Bull drivers. They are running into the racing point. They're causing him damage. This can mean something for the championship. You never know. But ILRT Thomas is on pole. Mr. QPR Beast's a legend of the site. He is also in the chat as well. We're getting a lot of these guys in the chat saying hello. I know Raf is back in F1 now, so he's going to do the F1 race before long, isn't he? Oh dear. Restarts in F2 are never good, are they? The only thing is, they happened too often last season as well. So we got Thomas on pole. We got Toxic in second, Silas third, but he's on softs randomly. Forbes is in fourth. Dutch fifth. I got hiccups, for goodness sake. Skeven sixth, CC seventh, Greeny 8th, Alfie in ninth, and Black Phoenix Championship leader rounds out your top 10. Feel sorry for those right behind that soft runner. They need to get him off that start because those top tyres are going to go off, and if Silas doesn't get into the lead, then they're screwed because they won't be able to get past him. So we're just waiting. Got one car ready up, so this isn't glitch. Let's have a look, check a Dutch Twitter, shall we? Yeah, the FA Cup. Oh, so basically, if Liverpool beat Shrewsbury in the fourth round replay at Anfield, they play Chelsea away. Whereas for my, I guess you could say, local team Cardiff, if they beat Reading in their replay, they play Sheffield United. That's a good draw. Even though I'm probably going to go out because Klopp doesn't like the FA Cup. So, and so Cardiff, because this Sheffield United, they're in the Premier League, they're going to be better than this, aren't they? So as the drivers are warming up for this excruciatingly long formation lap, the two drivers outside the top 10 are picked in terms of tyres. All of them have gone for hards except for Ollie Lavelle and Paco. Paco's under fueling his car, maybe just to save some tyre wear, use some lean mixture. Save those tyres up a bit. Now it is something you don't see every day. Mercedes starting 15th and 16th, and ahead of them they got Williams drivers, and in front of them you got a Ferrari. That's something you hardly would see nowadays. And if I was Silas, so I won't be warming up those tyres, well, literally to the point where you are putting them in the hundreds, maybe the high 90s. You want to keep them in the low 90s because then the tyre wear won't come into effect, will they? They would be able to stretch them out, although that could prove crucial. Where's Forbes in the championship, by the way? He is in 11th. He was in F3 to begin the season, I think. Then since got moved up to F2, and since finished. Well, he's won the race at Monza, and he finished second at Austria. 2 pad users and 1 soft runner up top. We're in for a hell of a race. In F6 here last season, there was a flip. That was wet conditions, I know, but there was a car flipping down Raffles Boulevard. And judging by the fact there's 2 pad users and a soft runner up the front, these guys are all going to be bunched up. Not quite to, well, to the effects of Austria, but you never know. This is F2. So at any time now, these lights will come on. We've got 1 light, you've got 2 lights, you've got 3 lights, you've got 4 lights, you've got 5 lights, and it is going to be lights out in Singapore for PSGL and for F2. Looks like to me that Silas initially got the better launch, but Forbes is down the inside of him. What's going on at the back? There's a couple of cars off, 1 round. And one's in the wall. Samster caused it, according to the game. Didn't quite catch it. As so back to the front, those front two medium runners have just pulled away from that soft run. You feel bad for those guys behind them because they're going to get held up a treat. Forbes needs past him now. There's battling going on at CC and Alfie tapped the wall there, I think. Could be lagging a bit though. I've got some lag indicators. Black Phoenix trying to get around the outside of Greeny through that corner. And it goes into the inside, but there isn't really an overtaking opportunity there, really, is there? Ollie is looking at the back of Tico now for P11. Look at that, those front two pulled a second already. Singapore, maybe that's not much. But the fact is, these guys are going to be... They probably can't wait to get past this Toro Rosso to the point where he gets to the pits. And look at that there, that's Black Phoenix and Greedy, and Black Phoenix is finally going to get past him, I should believe. Yeah, there he goes. But, yeah, quite a lot of action on the first lap. We've had a couple spinners at turn one. Paco's fallen behind a bit. Has he got damage? Yeah, he's got damage on that left-hand side. But I tell you what, those guys spun out on lap one, or turn one rather. They're still there. They're still in that pack of cars which are fighting at the lower end of the points. Somehow, I don't know. Oh, one car went wide there. That was Dutch. Stepping off the racing line a little. Could have cost him a little bit of track time. These two are going side by side again. I believe these two came together at the last lap turn when I nearly did again. There was actually some contact. McWheel got past him. I don't know who this guy is, so... I don't know what his driving standards are going to be like. There are going to be some DRS trains forming here because everyone's still in close proximity to each other. There's some moves going on there actually, Tico and Ollie. And both, I've noticed as well, both racing points are using their 22. Will we have two of them for long? For now at least, we will. There's also more action going on there back between Gweel and Samster. Gweel still ahead. You got Dutch Strix on the back of Forbes, and then Skeever's not too far behind. It's going to be a massive DRS train. And the tyres, they're not going to like it, are they? So this race is going to play into the hands of strategy here, I believe, because this Silas guy is just literally held up to the point where the front two seem to go away out of that DRS range. As Ollie has made a move on Tico. Actually, the position indicator thing is kind of bugging out. So we'll just have to ignore that. But here they come on Silas, so soft tyre wear kicking in already. Sam's just already picked up a 3-second time penalty, and it's only lap 2. But to be fair, it's Singapore. That's incredibly wide from Forbes. Silas going pretty defensive. Don't really know why. Oh, Williams, interesting battle going on here. Josh and Gweel down the inside goes Gweel. He's past him up to P14. He's making ground for that spin on lap 1, and Riken slips just the tad bit wide through turn 2 or 3. I don't know what they call it. DRS train, like I said. That doesn't allow Dutch to really get on the back of Forbes. And a bit of lag going on my screen. That's always nice to see. Love a bit of lag. It's happening again. I suppose these lads up here are a little bit closer than those guys at the front. So for now, unless something really does happen between them, I'm going to stick on board with this. Yellows. We've had a crash. Have we? We've had a spinner or what? No, we have not. Cheers, game, for giving me a false yellow. CC. Two so-called washed-up drivers in the PSGL community. I can't really see what they're doing right now because it's lagging out for me. And Alfie's down the inside of CC. Has to cut back in. And CC is still ahead. Two cars in his training got the red glitch. Yay, I thought that'd be fixed by now, Codemasters. Come on. Probably doing better than this. It was good beforehand, okay? But then we changed the router, we went back to Sky. And all of a sudden now, we're lagging again. Look at this. Silas sticking on those set of softs allowed the leaders to pull out a 3-second gap. And to the fact they're not even doing anything in the battle for the lead despite being in DRS range of each other. Samster is out. Will that throw out the safety car? And what a chance that would be for the likes of Forbes and Dutch to catch back up. It's in Sector 1 actually. So, virtual safety car. Just as Forbes was planning a move on Silas. That couldn't have come any worse of a time, to be honest, for Forbes, and I got a feel for him. He wasn't fuming before, he's fuming now, surely. This will allow some drivers to maybe close in on the drivers up ahead, try and gain an advantage. Virtual safety car is known for that sometimes. I'll tell you what, if it did come out right near the pit lane entry, then it could have helped Forbes. Gain a couple of tenths on the likes of Thomas and Toxic Power for when they pit. I'm guessing the virtual safety car is not too long until it goes away, because these guys are all over the back of him, eager to get away, and Ollie Flavel has received a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. Oh dear. Back to this battle then, as we're back green in Singapore after what they call in Formula E the full course yellow. I don't even know why. Formula E is not even American. And Forbes, I thought he had some kind of lapse in concentration, but no, it's the lag. And that was probably Forbes' best opportunity to try and go for that move. Turn 1 is an overtaking opportunity, in my opinion, although we did see Danny Kvyat try that in real life and he crashed into Kimi Raikkonen. Ollie is in to serve his drive-through penalty. We don't care. We're going back to this battle. Now, Forbes wants to go for it. The last lap he was interrupted by the virtual safety car. Silas goes defensive, not really sure why you're going to be battling him after the pit stops. And this time he's finally going with a beautiful move around the outside. And look at this train, oh my goodness. It's a 5-car train. Oh, Dutch just lost his swing. On the right hand side he's lost his end plate. Probably trying to overtake Silas with through Anderson Bridge, didn't work. Skeven is overtaking Alfie, I don't know why I decided to go around the back there. Action up ahead as well. But these guys could easily be going 4 wide through the stadium. Not even gonna lie. They kept it clean for there though, actually. Oh, there goes Silas's tyres. We can't enter the pit because Dutch is there. One of them did enter the pit, so CC. And Silas, oh, how has no one got into him there? That could have so easily been an airplane crash. And what bewilders me is that some of these medium runners are pitting. CC actually got wing damage, but some of these medium runners are pitting, or hard runners even. And you got Silas who's out doing them all. And not on track pace, of course, but on strategies, making those softs last this long in the race somehow. Just remember, we've only done 5 laps in this race. Down the inside goes Guil. I think there was contact there. Guil was left hanging, loses out. Tico is there now to try and take that 10th spot off him. Is there action going down into the sling between Dutch and Green? Of course, Dutch has that wing damage. He's going to be struggling out there a bit. Alfie is up into 4th now after all that action. But he's 3.9 seconds off his teammate, who's 4.6 seconds off these two leaders who are just following each other, quite frankly. One of these guys can move. Jeez. I know it's Singapore, but if you get close enough, do it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought that was literally Silas going upside down in the air there for a second, but no, that's his lie. And that's not my lie, because I wouldn't do that. It wouldn't. I'm not in this car, am I? I'm speaking out of gibberish. Excuse me. Why is it only now 7 in this race? You've done an hour of the stream. Bear in mind we had a restart, but I mean, why is this race 31 laps long? It's with the old cars, it was nearly a 2-minute lap, and then someone thinks it's a good idea around a street circuit like Singapore to say 61 laps. 61 lap race because I think this will be right. No, it's not. It's too long of a race. Paco is now out of the race. Well, that caused the safety car bunch to build up a little bit. At least it's not raining, actually. Yeah, that's a fair point. If it's raining, this race will be going on for hours and hours and hours. But Paco is out. Well, that caused the safety car already saw the VSC. Yes, it does! Get in! We've finally seen the safety car. Well, I have anyway. I don't think I've seen one happen for me since one of the pre-season races of last season. That was because of the wet weather. But there's a safety car in F2. Hold on to your horses, guys, because these guys like Forbes and Phoenix are going to catch up and see us takes a wise decision and retires from this race. And some of them are actually going to the pits. Thomas in the pits, Toxic Tomato in the pits. No, I said Black Phoenix. Forbes in the pits as well. I'm sure imagining these guys are going to go onto a set of hards. Maybe he's trying to stretch it to the end. Black Phoenix is going into the pits. Alfie, that's tricky. Even goes side by side into the pits. It's a safety car conditions, lads. He can't overtake. Alfie's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's ruined him. Now you've got Guil and Tico and Raikkonen, who've been running outside or on the brink of the top 10 throughout this race. And these guys are leading under the safety car. This is going to be absolute chaos, isn't it? To be honest. Absolute chaos. You got 3 guys who aren't up to the pace of the leaders, going long into this race, not planning on pitting under the safety car. These guys are going to be in the way come the restart. We could find ourselves in another that situation. I hope not, because well, these guys' hearts are not going to be off the cliff because they've already done 7 laps. But yeah, everyone's in a set of hards actually, which is something you don't say often. Especially on the old F1 games like F1 2017 or F1 2018 where you only had hards at one track. By the way, the hards in the 2018 British Grand Prix, those set of hards, best looking tyres I've ever seen on an F1 car. I'm sorry, but they just are. The blue goes well. Blue goes well with the rubber. And the slip. Of course, they'll get to see the blue wall tyres. Blue mark tyres on a set of slick tyres. Usually they're on a set of groove tyres. Yeah, I don't know why I'm looking at gaps and looking for a battle. It's literally the bloody safety car. Just not used to it. I don't think a commentator ever won in this game. I think it says it all, to be honest. The one man we have to thank for the safety car actually is Paco. Thank you, Paco. You made the race interesting. Oh, that's nearly a collision. These guys going to pit up here? No, they're not. They're staying out. It's going to have massive implications to the likes of Thomas and Toxic Tomato. Will probably feel right now what it is like to get stuck behind slower cars like Forbes and Dutch Tricks, who got stuck behind Silas, who is now out of the race. So that would be good news for them, considering that they were... So they seem to be frustrated behind him, especially Forbes. You know, if Forbes can get a good restart, if he can get at least Toxic Tomato, maybe even Thomas if he wants to push it a little. Forbes could still win this race. Black Phoenix can still win this race, and 10th on the grid. The Galpy started outside the top 10. He's in contention. Anyone's in contention as long as it's a big crack. Heck, even this guy, Josh at the back, he's in contention if there's a massive pile-up in front of him and there's about 5 cars upside down. Go back to Monza a couple of seasons in F4. Couple seasons ago, rather. In F4, where there was a 7-8 car pile-up off the Rettifilio after the safety car was out. I don't know why the viewership's dropped after the safety cars come out. I'm used to be waiting for a restart here. But isn't that Mercedes AMG? Mercedes-Benz AMG? I think it's an SLS. It's nice to see it out in the track for once in this game. Lights are off in the safety car. I think the lights are off. We are going to get ourselves going. At the end of this lap, Queel, the new guy, made his debut last race. He will control the pace. It's his decision whether he wants to go right before the line like Max Verstappen at Brazil or with a couple of corners to go. As long as that safety car is strolling through that pit lane at 60 miles per hour. And there's a collision. That was a collision between Tico and Guil, I think. Indeed it was. So Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, Baku 2017 situation. It could have a Ferrari running into the back of a Mercedes powered car. But when does Guil go? Dutch Trex has picked up a penalty for running in the back of Greedy. These Ferraris like to run in the back of these cars. Guil is gone. Both no DRS for 2 laps, so it's just down to slipstream. Ford was already battling. He's lost ground. Black Phoenix is going to get past him into turn 1, is he? Off the track goes Forbes, picks up a penalty, and Black Phoenix is through. So that's the worst restart possible for Forbes, because now he's in the grasp of his teammate Alfie, who beforehand was nowhere near him on track. To be fair to Guil, he's actually gone away. He's got away from this pack. But he hasn't stopped yet, of course. None of these guys are going to win the race up front. It's like a Giovinazzi situation in real life, and Giovinazzi led the race for a couple of laps. That's exactly what Guil is doing right now. So is there any just massive clusters of cars waiting for one to be upside down? No. Wheel 8 attempts ahead now, Tico. These two, Tico and Raikkonen, have let these guys behind them fall into another type of CLAS situation, I'm guessing, but Tico isn't. Guil isn't going to be ahead of these guys for much longer, is he? And all still close to each other, all within DRS range of each other after the first couple of events, after the safety car restart. So, into the stadium section we go. And Forbes' car is literally sinking into the ground. There's a sinkhole in the stadium. Maybe the race director should have a look at that. Could take someone's eye out, but we'll press on, I'm guessing. Look at that, now Tico is pulling away from Raikkonen. Dutch picks up another penalty now for corner cutting. Or multiple warnings, track exceeding warnings. He has Skeven on the back of him. He has Greeny up in front of him. You've got CC ahead of them. You've got Ollie behind Skeven, who have to serve a drive-through penalty after the virtual safety car because he sped. And just to think about it, actually, why are we complaining about Codemasters not bringing that safety car too much? We've had a VSC and we have had a safety car and 3 retirements all within the first 10 laps of the race. I know this is Singapore and I know that's a long time on any other track. 10 laps around Singapore is usually, but you can't really complain. But you know, the track time is about as long as Spa. So if you had Spa's lap length, we'd be halfway through the race by now. Maybe that just shows. This race is basically hot excruciating Spa with an extra nearly 10 laps added onto it, basically. Or in real life, another extra 20. Tico picked up a penalty. Will is outside the RS range now, these guys. Not bad for someone who maybe is not along the pace as some of the quicker guys of the division. But he's had help doing that. And he probably won't lead it for long, considering that he's still yet to make it up. Like I have mentioned, I don't know the strategy around here. Yeah. But, you know, I'm speaking for the driver's perspective here. For the driver, it must be excruciating knowing that you got to do nearly double the length of Spa's laps on a track where the track time's about the same, or just a couple of seconds quicker maybe. In these hot temperatures, this many corners on a tight track like this. Yellows, it's Thomas! Thomas is out of the race! He has bottled it into the wall at Singapore Sling, and I don't know how he's done that. How did he do that? Will that be another safety car now then? That car was well submerged into that wall. We've already seen VSC in a normal safety car once. Will we get a second normal safety car? What an event that would be. Not currently out. It's Singapore. But Thomas has bottled it from a net race lead. Someone's cut the corner and that's Alfie. Just put into... Yeah, fair enough, but... It's a hot track, this. Very hot track. Tico is the first of those top 3 drivers to pit. Toxic Tomato is now in the hot seat, maybe to win this race. He's got Black Phoenix hunting him down, though. Major championship implications being played out here. Black Phoenix, despite starting 10th in the grid, could win this race, and we know he has had the... I know... Oh, Tico's out. Tico retired in the pits. Now, maybe he thought that he wasn't getting from the race because no one else was really pulling out their gaps from behind him. As there's actually an overtake going on there for the second place position between Raikkonen and Toxic Tomato. Raikkonen, you won't be in this race. Oh no, I was only seeing that one end one way, but it didn't. And everyone's wheels and tyres are still intact and no one's on their roof. There's actually action going on through the Singapore Sling. Skeven, I think, has lost his front wing there. So disaster for Alfa Romeo in less than a space lap, just under. One car is out through wall, and one car's lost wing, possibly through wall. And there's now more action as Dutch Tricks has now pinned it in the wall down at the Anderson Bridge hairpin. And now, oh my goodness, that's rather embarrassing. And now he is out, and will that bring out the safety car? We started off at 17, we're down to 11. And one's without a front wing, so we could easily be down to 10. That's what Skeven will be up for right now as a safety car. Looks like it isn't going to come out. Yellows again, sector 3, and that's probably because Skeven going slow. Or it could actually be Dutch's car. He didn't lose a wheel, so he's still driving it. And yellow flags are gone. We're still going to go green here, Singapore. And liking this Renault Inter-Team battle that's starting to brew here for P5 will eventually be for the final podium spot, actually. I said that about having one safety car earlier on, and we actually got one. Even though it, and like I said at that time actually, even though it's Singapore, you never know. Singapore always seems to have 1 or 2 safety cars in it, even if it's the F1 game. Actually, no, I remember when I got a safety car. I was actually at Baku the season in FP. I just remember that now. I think JP will remember that one as well. Pulled a double overtake on him and Alfie, I think. Daniel Ricciardo style. Um, so nothing's really happening in this running battle. Paul Skeven is 39 seconds behind, but you can't count yourself out of the race, especially when it's likeliness of safety cars. I know I keep on bragging on about it, but I'm just happy that we had it, to be honest. For long, I might put the F1 stream on alongside just to see what's going on, the developments in that. They probably will have a full grid. They're usually quite consistent in terms of turnout at F1. And look at that, down the inside goes Alfie. Dives it in there, and now is past his teammate. And Forbes is out of a chance for maybe a podium, as long as maybe his teammate can get away here. And if he does get away, that's that done for Forbes. And Skeven picks up penalty from 38 seconds behind. That's him. Back to the second place battle, in which Toxic Tomato actually got forced out a couple laps to go by Raikkonen. This time he does the same to Raikkonen, and he's through. Josh passed Ollie Flavel for 9th, and will probably be around about 7th after those top two guys pit. Wheel's 3 seconds in front. Give it to him, he's driving a good race. Wheel's tyres are twice the amount of laps older than Toxic Tomatoes and Black Phoenixes, but he's got a 3-second gap. Remember as well, he got spun out turn 1 on lap 1, even though he caught up within the space of a lap to the back end of the final point positions train. Just such BS. Guessing this is Dutch tricks, maybe. It's probably someone from this race, and I'm happy with the way how they retired. I should know who that is, but I don't. Oh, it's Thomas. What happened to you? Because next thing I know, I saw you on the wall in a good position beforehand. Did one of those guys take Thomas out of the race? Maybe brake checked him, and he had to take a void in action, and his car just slid off on the wall. Maybe that's what happened. We're just about halfway through this race now, thank God. Keep the views up. I know F1's about to start, although Owen does tend to start it late to give F2 a chance to, you know, get some views, which I admire. Raikkonen is off the track. Maybe those hards are starting to go into a stage where they're starting to fall off a bit now. Not as quick as they once were. Nearly. Raikkonen nearly hit that inside wall coming through the sling. Just keeping his back in there on Toxic Tomato. That's a nice helicopter angle actually as they go down. Whatever straight this is, it looks like a bridge, so we call it the bridge straight. Because Anderson's bridge is more like a curve, isn't it? So. Who do you think, lads? Who's going to win this race? Toxic or Black? I'm probably going to say Toxic just because of the gap that's formed between him and Raikkonen, but you never know. You just don't know. This is Singapore. This is F1. This is an F1 league race. I know they're not as good as they once were. But believe you me, some stuff can happen. Actually, that just puts it to bed. Toxic's won. Toxic has just won the race, isn't he? Something on Twitter saying. Just saw something. Yeah, back to this race. Sorry guys, I just had a look at there on Twitter. found it interesting. I'm not saying this race is boring or anything, it's a good race. And there's still a lot of battles going on. And is the F1 stream gone up yet? Don't think it will for a while. So we still have 14 laps. Yay. Forbes is in the floor through that sinkhole part of the track again. Yay. And the battles have all fizzled out. You love to see it. Especially around this track. Where after a while, with all the gaps spreading out, nothing happens. Because there's no one to lose your front wing around. All people do is just lose their front wings and not actually lose their tyres and cause a safety car. Actually, Black Phoenix is about to get past Raikkonen, and that is a stupid defensive move. I'm sorry, Raikkonen, but that was not clean. That was not clean whatsoever. You just go for one of the latest blocks I think I've ever seen. And he's not even racing for that position, ultimately, at the end of the day. Now, Black Phoenix has every right, I think, you know, to send it for because of that. Little defensive move was rather... Let's say it was rather questionable. I think that's the right word. Hasn't really got the momentum to try it down this straight. You will be back down that Raffles Boulevard bit. And that's allowed the likes of Alfie, Forbes and CC to just hook onto the back of it. And they could get something out of this. And Wheels pitted, so, and so is Raikkonen actually, so that will now release these guys into fresh air. Although it is Singapore, so it's, I mean, it's urban, so it's not really going to be fresh air, is it? So the clean air. And I would like to think that Black Phoenix would love to see the back of that Mercedes going into the pit. Knowing that he has got a lot of space in front of him, he can pull out a gap and just relax. Maybe he probably won't win today, but you never know. Penalties is a big factor around this track. He could still win it on that front. I want to let you guys listen to that awful rev sound on Toxic Tomatoes' car as we watch him. Nice sticking to your words. I love DRS trains, I love DRS trains, I love DRS trains. Let's happen between these cars and overtake with two. Even though the gaps are putting out now, and overtake with two. Into turn one goes Mr. Black Phoenix and Alfioli, followed by Caden and Forbes. So now our race, we actually saying the names of the drivers and not the PSN names. I mean, it's 8:05, it's lap 20 at 31. Usually you're finished by then as F2. Bearing in mind we've had a restart because of the time not being right. Because it was on official.
She's got about 10 to go in this race. 10 laps around Singapore is an awful long time. So that sinkhole into play again. Hee. Love to see it. I could see a move happening. I was going to see a move happening there, I think, but it was a poor accident. Wheels gone and set the fastest lap of the race. He's not too far behind a lot of these drivers. I'd say that he is second off Wheel, but then Ollie's just Wheel's second off Ollie, but then Ollie's 7 seconds off Josh, who's then 5 seconds off Greeny, or 4 or 5 seconds. Then it's this train. That's about 4 seconds, 11 seconds. Rather. Losing my head. I'm actually losing my head as we speak. We know for a fact now, though, that this could still propel Toxic tomorrow back into that championship hunt again. He'll certainly pull away from Greeny, because Greeny is 1 point behind him currently going into this race into the championship. But now Toxic Tomato is leading the race and Greeny's in 6th. So it's a 9 point difference. He'll end up being 10 points ahead after the end of this race. Wheels overtaking Ollie. Ollie's going to come back. Tries to switch back as Wheel went very late to defend. I like that, has to stick in behind. And Alfie is absolutely pulled away from his teammate. He's ever since he's come back down from F1, he has scored 2 podiums, I want to say. Wait, no, he's done more than 2 races, actually. My apologies. He won in Austria. He beforehand finished in 5th in Italy. So, basically, yeah, nearly. And the F1 stream is up. Please don't leave me. We actually got better turnout in this division. Got to feel bad for Owen, actually. And CC, while we wasn't looking, my apologies, CC has overtaken Forbes. Forbes completely fell off the pace. And now is under attack from Greeny, which isn't really going to help Toxic Tomato in this championship hunt, because now Greeny will be making some inroads back, but he's at the back of him there, actually. As they come down into this corner, which I don't know the name of, and then they approach this corner over here, which I also don't know the name of, and the corner comes after that, I don't know the name of that one either. We haven't had a retirement for a while. I just sneezed. Excuse me. So, penalty there for Josh. 97 underscore. He gets that little bit there going into the corner. And Ollie Flavel's tyres are dead. You see him sliding through that corner. He couldn't enter the pits because Raikkonen was covering the inside. So that means that Ollie's got to do another lap with no set of hards, which it looks like he's really struggling with, and it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up on the wall in a couple of corners time, because that slide was massive. He's lost a heap of time. Alfie and Black Phoenix's gap have been rather at a stalemate, in all honesty. Nothing really going on between them. Greeny's stuck on the back of Forbes pretty much. As coming to I want to say it's Anderson British Haven, but it's probably not. It's probably something else, named after something else. Big cardboards is vulnerable. Ollie Flavel's picked up another time penalty. I don't know if you have one before, but there we go. I just said, yeah, another time penalty. He's also broken a bit of his swing off, so that is not very good. And actually, the reason why Forbes has been struggling, because he's also got wing damage from somewhere. I can't think or remember, trace back from where that came from. Lap 24. 31, we're slowly edging towards the end of this race, thank goodness. We've got Brian in the chat, finally some action in the chat. The first 10 laps are rather exciting. We had a VSC and a safety car all within 10 laps, and after that it's just the action's kind of dried out. And that there's been cars in close proximity of other cars, but there's been no manoeuvres. And as I say that right now, there could be one going for 5th position. But the DRS doesn't really work well on this track from what I've been seeing. We also got Mr. Oogie Azim as well, the Ralpindi Express is in the chat. As Greeny makes the move around the outside of Forbes up into P5. Ollie Favell pits. And she ends behind Skeven, so if Skeven keeps on going, he's scoring points in this race, so that's good enough for him, I guess. Gap in 5 seconds between Black Phoenix and Toxic. Mr. Alfioli behind Black Phoenix, still waiting for his opportunity to pounce like a little lion cub. Forbes went from half a second there, really, to now a full second. Don't know really what's going on there, but Josh, he's kind of come out of nowhere. So has his teammate, Mr. Guil underscore 18. Someone I never heard before going into this race, but he is there alongside his teammate to catch up to P6 Forbes. Forbes could easily not finish in the top 10, but I don't think Raikkonen is on the catch him, neither is Skeven, is he? So let's put that suggestion to bed. Oh, car, and I think Josh let Guil go there, knowing he was the quicker car. And so that will promote him into P7 on the back of P6. Actually, considering there's no lead battle going on, I can really spoil the penalties, can I? Actually, Toxic Tomato has 1. What does Black Phoenix have? He has 2 warnings, but no penalties, but he's on the verge of 1. If Toxic Tomato gets another penalty, then that proves something in this race. Actually, let's look at Alfie's penalties, if he's got any. Actually, he's got a few. 3, 6, and a warning. CC, 9 seconds and a couple of warnings. And Greeny hasn't got one yet. So basically, if Toxic gets another penalty, then Black Phoenix could win this race. But the way that gap has been increasing, I don't see it. I do believe that Toxic has got this win in the bag, either way. A little stretch of the arms. Oh yeah, so that's lap number 25 complete for some of these drivers now, heading into lap 26. Just a couple more to go, lads, just a couple more to go, then it'll all be over for another season or 2. Look at that, Guil was missing it. Forbes and another really many space. Josh is now on the back of him, and Raikkonen is actually catching Forbes and this lot. So maybe Raikkonen could be within a chance of. Forbes could have gone from a solid race-winning opportunity down to P9 at the end of this race. Now here comes Josh. That was pretty close. Will they even finish at all? Maybe. Forces him off the track, as he probably would so often do going into that corner. Mr. Ollie Flavel, what people set the fastest lap of the race. He won't get the point for it though, because he's well outside the top 10. Nice helicopter angle going into the Singapore Sling, following him into the Anderson Bridge. And that's Josh with a penalty. For anyone who actually knows, Toxic Tomato getting that penalty. And leaving the race maybe to Black Phoenix, as long as he doesn't get another warning, which leads to that third warning, which gives him that penalty. I'm quite consistent on them though. Could win every, I'd say, 10 laps. Can't vividly remember. Got a bit of a Glock nose. How far actually is Wheel off Greeny? He's within a second and a half, so Wheel is showing some good pace on those mediums. And Alfie's just overtaking Black Phoenix. So maybe this isn't Black Phoenix's win. And it's now pretty much confirmed that it is Toxic Tomato's win. Considering as Alfie has more penalties than Toxic. And now look at Raikkonen. Raikkonen is now on the back of these lot. Oh, he needs to be careful there though. That was in the back. Josh could have easily spun him out. TRS is open. He's got the ERS ready to deploy. And are they going to go free wide into the corner? Forbes has been left hanging pretty much there. Raikkonen giving no space. Oh dear, this is going to be bad. Hasn't actually. Some good racing. Forbes now back down the inside of Josh. Josh out of all of that. He's holding it behind Forbes. It isn't going to... They're still going side by side despite not having much track to do so. And down the inside and taping is still alongside each other's rear and front wheels. Uh-oh, that could have been rather close there. Forbes now back round the outside of the Williams, and they're still with each other. Josh just pulls through though, and probably will get away now. And Forbes has not done the complicating and go into that wall. That was just a bit of lag. And Black Phoenix has re-overtook Alfie for second. So Black Phoenix back into second. Forbes now finally pits off those Sev Hards, which has been troubling him. Maybe just going for fastest lap at this point. Where's actually be around Skeven? He's replacing his wing as well. That's another couple of seconds to add on to it. Skeven's just got a penalty. But these two are going to be battling each other as they come back out of the track, I think. Actually, it's Forbes going to edge out, probably. Actually, no. Skeven's going to get him. But Skeven's on 14 lap rolled hards, and Forbes is just coming out on fresh set of sauce. Actually, he's going to be battling Ollie. Ollie's going to be there. And now Ollie's ahead. Forbes has dropped to last. Some things you just get. Some things you don't. 3 laps to go. Next time by for Toxic Tomatoes. Gap is now 7 seconds in Black Phoenix. It's 1. It's basically 1. Now I should imagine that Forbes is probably going to get stuck behind Ollie here. Will is now closer to Greeny than he has been. Actually, I missed the action going on between these two down the front straight in the last couple of laps, so I'm going to watch it. But guaranteed now that I'm going to watch it, nothing is going to happen. Can Greeny get P2? Maybe, actually. Could Will even get P2, actually, because I don't think Greeny's got any penalties, has he? Yeah, he's got 1. That'd be 3 seconds. That would be 12 seconds coming from CC, so he'd probably overtake him. Alfie has 9 seconds, I believe, was he? Oh, it's 6 seconds. Oh shit, I'm missing it. Stupid French. Speaking of French driver Quill now up to P5. It's incredibly likely to get a podium, but maybe not P2. Maybe Black Phoenix is just a little bit too far to have that, but I'll just watch his gaps just in case it come down these last couple of laps. Let's have a look at F1, see if they've started the race yet. Volume is on. Whoops. ILRT Jonathan is currently beating Louis by nearly a second in qualifying. And there's action. Forbes and Ollie. Forbes off the track. Got the inside line to the next corner. Ollie is loose off the curb and ultimately loses out. He's like the Jamie 2905 of F2. Just no matter what happens, he can't ever get out of this division, can he? Like me in F5, no matter what happens, I can't get out of the division. Lap 30 out of 31, penultimate lap. Alfie is dead on a second behind Black Phoenix, but now just drops below that, so you won't get DRS for Raffles Boulevard. Yellows, yellows, yellow, 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 yellow. Skeven is slow. Skeven is slow. I think he's been in the wall, has he? Yep, he's got wing damage. Oogie is missing PSGL. Maybe that's a signal that he probably will return. Are you returning that season, actually? It'd be nice if you return to FP, you know. Ralpindi needs that, needs that little bit of speed going on, because to be honest, I'm just carrying the Gunda Chunga Una team. Scored all the points this season. Race, he uses the pad, and because of that, he's usually slower than me. Steven is in the pits for a new wing, and for fastest lap time is still out of Forbes. Vic Forbes, that's it. Greeny's not lost a lot of time to Guido. Yeah, fair enough. I know it's insane o'clock whenever you race in PSGL, so I get that. Is it possible actually for Guido to maybe hunt down CC Brain on this last lap and overtake him? He's done 11 laps on those set mediums, you never know. I don't know how many times I've said that this race, to be honest. No one's in DRS range of each other. Actually, Guido's just dropped into that zone. But it won't be enough.